Alright, welcome back. Today we will see how we can make API calls in a Vue.js application. So for today's demo, we have a list of users. If we take a look at our code, we can see that the data is hard-coded, and we have a custom user component that displays like simple data, and we have this avatar component to display our initials, and each time we refresh, they get a random background color. To make an API call, we need to use what's called Lifecycle hooks, and they differ in Options API and Composition API. In Options API, we have a few other hooks like created, before created, but in Composition API, they are handled in the setup method. So what does onMounted mean? This means that a component and all of its child components are created and inserted to the DOM. Basically, it means that the component is ready to use. Another one is onUpdated. This means that any reactive data change in the component, using this onUpdated, we can detect them and register a new callback. And I will try to use this one as well in this demo. And the other very popular one is on onMounted, and we can use this to clear up some stuff before our component being destroyed. So those are the most commonly used ones. So let's try to use them to make an API call. And for users, we will use a JSON placeholder API, which gives us a random users, I think. So let's see how we can do it. And for this demo, we will use the onMounted lifecycle loop, and you can actually create a function and call it. That could mean that you are using it in basically when the component is created, and that also means that at this point we don't have access to our DOM. But for this demo, we will use the onMounted. We also have this commented out code. Let's bring them back. You can see we have this for displaying some status. For example, when we try to make an API call, we will display this, and when we don't have any users, we will try to display this. And actually for this week, we need to create a variable. Let's name it is loading, and make it reactive with initial value false. So when this value is true, we can display this. It's loading, and to display this, the condition can be we are not trying to load anything, and also we don't have any users, like so. Okay, so let's try to use onMounted. First, let's create this. Let's remove every user, and we should see this. So to make an API call, and we call that. So to make an API call, we will use the fetch API, and the endpoint is this. Let's paste this here, and since this is an synchronous, we need to set here and store the response. Right, so right before we make an API call, let's change this value to true. So this means that we are trying to load something, and then we can update our user's value with the JSON value of the response. So response.json, like so. And then we can update it back to being false, like so. So if when I save, as you can see, we are trying to load users. I think I forgot and await here. Okay, yeah, they're updated. So when I refresh, you can see a glimpse of loading users. That's because the API call is really fast. That's why it's like hiding it really quick. So let's slow down our speed to fast 3G, and then we should be able to see it like so. And we can actually use the onUpdated hook because we are changing the reactive state. We can register a new callback. We can simply console log something out, like component is updated. And so when we, as you can see, we like make a few changes here, so it should console log when we update some reactive data. Let's refresh the page. Let's call for console, and as you can see, it fired like a couple of times. So that's how we can use Lifecycle hooks to make an API call and update data. Hope you enjoyed it. That's it for this video. I'll catch you guys on the next one.